Imagine waking up tomorrow and you've got exactly $1,000 in your pocket, not a cent more.
Wow, okay. Starting from zero, basically.
Exactly. No job lined up, no investments humming along, no grand financial plan etched in stone, just you and that crisp $1,000
That's quite the scenario. A bit daunting, maybe.
for sure. And for many, the immediate question might be, what on earth do I do with it? Do you desperately throw it into the latest trending meme stock, hoping for a lottery win?
Yeah, the temptation for a quick fix must be huge.
Or maybe you just let it sit, quietly eroding under the relentless march of inflation.
Which is almost like losing money slowly.
Precisely. So today in the deep dive, we're cutting through all that guesswork. Our mission, as always, is to explore how to make money work for you, diving into the most practical and impactful strategies in personal finance and investing.
And this sounds like a really foundational topic.
It really is. And this specific deep dive, it's custom tailored for anyone standing at that starting line, whether you literally have $1,000 or you're just wondering how to strategically grow any small sum.
Right, the principles probably scale up.
They do. And we're aiming not for fleeting gains, but for genuine, long-term financial success. We've unearthed a powerful framework based on our sources, broken down into 7 distinct actionable parts.
7 parts for $1,000. Okay, interesting breakdown.
Because, as our sources show, $1,000 on its own might seem insignificant, but when divided wisely and invested strategically, can truly be the catalyst for a game-changing financial journey.
What's truly foundational here, as our sources emphasize, is really a shift in perspective. It's not just about making one single investment decision and, hoping for the best.
Right, not just throwing a dart.
Exactly. Instead, it's about empowering you with a robust, interconnected framework. It's a philosophy that prioritizes building sustainable habits, acquiring invaluable assets, like skills,
Yeah.
and establishing financial systems that don't just grow, but compound over time.
Compound, that's the key word, isn't it?
Absolutely. The material we've explored really frames this as a get smart fast plan, rather than a fleeting get-rich-quick scheme.
I like that distinction. Get smart fast.
Yeah, it's a blueprint for cultivating long-term financial intelligence designed to create a cascading series of positive financial decisions that build genuine wealth, even starting from very humble beginnings. 1, the foundation, investing in yourself, $100.
Okay, let's unpack this incredible roadmap. When we talk about investing $1,000 from scratch, our sources are crystal clear. The very first thing to do, non-negotiable, put $100 into learning a high-income skill.
Just $100. Interesting starting point.
Just $100. For someone who's maybe never invested or is desperate to grow their money, this feels almost counterintuitive, doesn't it? Why learning a skill first, before stocks, before anything else?
It's an excellent question, and it speaks to the concept the source refers to as infinite ROI, or return on investment.
Infinite ROI. Explain that.
Well, think about it this way. No stock, no bond, no cryptocurrency can ever yield returns comparable to a skill that permanently enhances your earning potential.
Right.
Okay, I see where you're going. This initial $100 isn't going into a financial asset that fluctuates with the market. It's an investment in your personal human capital, your brain, essentially.
Your own abilities.
Exactly. When you acquire a high-income skill, you're not just getting a one-time payout. You're upgrading your ability to generate income indefinitely.
Ah, okay. So it's like upgrading your internal operating system.
That's a great analogy, making you inherently more valuable in the marketplace, which then impacts every single other financial decision you make down the line.
Infinite ROI. That's a compelling way to frame it.
Yeah.
So what specific skills are we talking about here? The source must give examples, right? And how accessible are they for someone starting with just $100 and maybe no prior experience?
Oh, absolutely. And the accessibility is key. They don't suggest skills requiring, a 4-year degree.
Good, because that's not happening with $100.
Not at all. The source specifically highlights several skills that are in incredibly high demand in today's digital economy and, crucially, are scalable. Things like copywriting.
Writing persuasive stuff for businesses.
Precisely. Website content, ad copy, email campaigns, super valuable. Then there's video editing.
Huge right now. Everything's video.
Absolutely essential for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. Social media management is another big one, helping businesses navigate that whole online world.
Yeah, lots of businesses need that.
And building basic websites, still a foundational digital skill always needed by small businesses. And a really emerging one the source mentions is AI prompting.
Okay, tell me more about that one. That's new-ish.
It is. It's essentially learning how to talk to AI tools effectively, giving them precise instructions to generate content, code, ideas. It's
Yeah.
becoming indispensable, really, across many industries.
So learning how to leverage AI.
Exactly. And these are called high-income skills because they directly help businesses make money or save money, and they often lead to flexible work like freelancing or just better job prospects overall.
Okay, so these aren't just random tasks. They're skills that businesses actively pay good money for because they impact the bottom line.
Yeah.
But can you really learn these with just $100? That still feels like a stretch.
That's the beauty of it, according to the sources. The emphasis is on accessibility. They point to platforms like Udemy, YouTube, Skillshare.
The online course platforms.
Exactly. You can find high-quality, often self-paced, affordable courses. Many excellent tutorials are even free on YouTube if you know where to look.
So you're not buying a fancy certificate, you're buying practical knowledge.
You got it. Practical, actionable knowledge you can apply immediately. That first $100 is just to kickstart that learning process, get you the foundational course or maybe a key resource. It makes it incredibly accessible. So connecting it back, that initial $100 isn't just about learning a task. It's about unlocking your personal earning potential. And that potential is arguably the most powerful asset you possess. It sets the stage for everything else.
The bedrock. Got it. 2. The safety net. Building an emergency buffer, $150. All right, step 1. Invest in yourself, boost earning power. Once you've done that, or doing that, the next crucial step our source highlights is building a defense, an emergency buffer. They suggest tucking away $150.
$150. Not a huge amount, but dedicated.
Right, and this might seem, well, a little boring compared to the excitement of stocks or crypto.
Definitely less glamorous than watching charts go up.
But here's where it gets really interesting, according to the source, in terms of protecting your other investments. Why is this safety net so critically important? How does it actually protect anything beyond just, paying for a flat tire?
Well, the source is remarkably direct on this point. It boils down to life happens.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Without an emergency buffer, unexpected expenses, a sudden car repair, an unforeseen medical bill, maybe even a temporary job loss can force you into a really bad spot financially.
Okay.
Think of your financial strategy, like building that skyscraper again. You wouldn't pour the concrete for the penthouse before laying a rock-solid foundation, right?
Makes sense.
This emergency buffer is that foundation. Without it, the first unexpected financial tremor could make your whole investment structure crumble. You might be forced to sell your index funds or your crypto.
At exactly the wrong time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Often during a market downturn when prices are low, you lock in losses. So this fund isn't about growth, it's purely about protection. It's a shield.
A shield that prevents panic selling or derailing the whole plan.
Precisely. It prevents you from messing up your carefully planned strategy just because life threw you a curveball.
So it's not just financial protection, it's also about psychological resilience, isn't it? Knowing you have that buffer helps you stay disciplined.
Absolutely. That psychological benefit is immense. It prevents those panic-driven decisions and lets you stick to your long-term plan even when things get chaotic.
Okay, so where should this $150 live? Not just a regular checking account, I assume. Needs to be separate.
Definitely separate. The source strongly recommends a high-yield savings account.
High yield. Explain that quickly.
It just means it earns more interest than a traditional savings account, usually offered by online banks. Now, you're not going to get rich from the interest on $150,
Right, we're talking pennies probably.
probably. But the key benefits are liquidity, meaning you can access the money quickly if you really need it, and crucially, low risk.
Yeah.
This money isn't for speculation, it's meant to be safe and accessible.
Safe and ready.
Exactly. The source even mentions specific banks often known for these, like Ally, SoFi, or Discover. But the main point is find one that's easy to access but separate from your daily spending, and it's strictly a do not touch unless absolutely necessary fund.
A break glass in case of emergency fund.
That's the one. Essential, even if it's not the flashiest part of the plan.
It protects the garden from unexpected storms, like we said before. Keeps the growth investment safe.
Perfectly put. And it raises that important question. What's the true cost of not having this buffer? It's often derailing your entire strategy just when you need stability the most. This buffer provides that stability. 3. The long game. Investing in index funds or ETFs. $300.
Okay, foundation laid, emergency buffer in place. Now we're moving into what our source calls where your long-term wealth truly begins, dedicating a solid $300 to index funds or ETFs.
$300. This is the biggest single chunk so far.
It is, and for someone with no experience, this might sound intimidating. Index funds, ETFs, sounds like Wall Street jargon.
It can definitely sound that way.
But our source suggests it's actually incredibly straightforward and one of the smartest moves you can make as a beginner. How so? What makes it simple?
That's a critical point, and it's where the brilliance of this strategy, especially for beginners, really shines. The beauty of index funds and exchange-traded funds, or ETFs.
Which are similar things, basically.
Very similar for this purpose, yeah. Their beauty lies in their simplicity, their accessibility, and their inherent diversification. They are essentially low-cost funds that give you exposure to hundreds, sometimes thousands of companies all at once.
Okay, so not just one company stock.
Exactly. This completely removes that daunting task of picking winning stocks, which, let's be honest, even seasoned professionals struggle with consistently.
Yeah, that sounds hard. And risky.
It is. Instead, with these funds, you're effectively buying the entire market or at least a very large representative slice of it. It aligns perfectly with long-term passive growth and dramatically reduces the risk tied to any single company going bust.
So instead of trying to figure out if, I don't know, Apple or Google is going to outperform next year, you're just buying a piece of all of them, plus hundreds more. You're betting on the whole U.S. economy, essentially.
Precisely. You nailed it. The source gives specific examples, like VTI, that's a total stock market index fund, holds a tiny slice of almost every publicly traded company in the U.S.
Wow, okay. Broad exposure.
Very broad. Then there's VOO, which tracks the S&P 500, the 500 largest U.S. companies. Still very diversified.
The big guys.
The big guys. And they also mention SCHD for dividend growth. That one focuses on companies known for paying out regular dividends, portions of their profits, back to shareholders.
So you get growth potential and some income.
Exactly. It's like getting a regular bonus just for owning a piece of these often stable businesses. But for a beginner, VTI or VOO are fantastic starting points. You're betting on the overall health and growth of the U.S. economy, which historically, over long periods, has always trended upwards.
Okay, that makes sense. You don't need to be an expert on every company. But what kind of returns can you realistically expect? We're still only talking $300 initially. Is it even worth it to start so small? Feels like a drop in the ocean.
It might feel small, but that's where the magic of compound interest kicks in, especially over time. The source points out that historically, these types of diversified funds have averaged around 8–10% growth per year.
8 to 10% average. Okay, that's not bad.
Not bad at all, especially compared to a savings account.
Mm.
While $300 itself won't make you rich overnight, the power lies in that compounding over time and, ideally, consistent contributions. Even a modest amount left to grow for decades.
And adding more whenever you can.
Exactly. It can become substantial. The real magic happens when you make it a habit. The strategy is summarized beautifully by the source as set it, forget it, let it grow.
I like that. Low maintenance.
Very low maintenance. It's about patience and consistency. And getting started is easier than ever. Platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, famous for their low-cost ETFs, or even mobile apps like Robinhood or Webull make opening an account and investing that first $300 pretty straightforward.
So it really democratizes investing, doesn't it? You don't
Right.
need a broker shouting on the phone.
Not anymore. You're not putting all your eggs in one volatile basket. Your diverse garden analogy is perfect. If one plant struggles, the others pick up the slack, the whole garden keeps growing.
Right. And what's the biggest mistake beginners make if they don't go this route, if they try to pick stocks instead?
Oh, the classic mistakes. Trying to time the market, guessing the lows and highs, which is nearly impossible consistently, or getting lured by hype around a single stock that just shot up.
And buying at the peak.
Exactly. Then panic selling when the market inevitably dips, locking in losses instead of riding it out. Index funds remove so much of that emotion and the need for constant monitoring. You don't need to be a financial guru, just patience and consistency. It levels the playing field. 4, the calculated risk. Dollar cost averaging into crypto, $150.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, and let's be honest, maybe a little controversial for some listeners. Our source suggests allocating $150 into crypto.
Right, the crypto piece always sparks debate.
For sure. But they're absolutely not saying to go all in or gamble wildly. They emphasize doing it smartly through something called dollar cost averaging. What exactly does smartly look like here, especially given crypto's reputation for, well, insane volatility?
This is a crucial distinction, and that smartly part is paramount. The source emphasizes dollar cost averaging, or DCA. It's a strategy designed specifically to reduce risk in volatile markets like crypto.
Okay, DCA. How does it work simply?
Instead of investing that whole $150 at once, maybe catching a price peak, you split it up. For example, you could buy $25 worth of, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum every week for 6 weeks.
Ah, okay. Small, regular buys.
Exactly. Or maybe $50 every 2 weeks for 6 weeks. The point is you're buying at different price points over time. This averages out your costs.
So if the price drops 1 week, you actually buy more coins for your $25.
Precisely, which lowers your average purchase price. If the price goes up, great, your earlier buys are worth more. It just smooths out the volatility and takes the emotion out of trying to time the market perfectly.
Okay, that makes sense. Smooths the ride.
Mm-hmm.
But still, crypto. It can feel like pure speculation to many given the crazy stories. What's changed, according to the source, to make this a strategic, albeit small, part of the plan in 2025 for a beginner?
That's the key question. The source acknowledges crypto's inherent volatility. Nobody's denying that, but stresses that in 2025, it's not just hype anymore.
Not just hype. What else is there then?
The key reasons cited for this shift are pretty significant. 1, institutional involvement. Big financial players are getting involved now. 2, the existence of regulated financial products like spot ETFs.
Spot ETFs,
Yeah.
right. Those got approved. What does that mean practically?
It means these are funds traded on traditional stock exchanges that actually hold the underlying cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin. So you can get exposure through your regular brokerage account in a regulated way. It adds a layer of legitimacy and makes it easier for traditional investors to participate.
Okay, so big money is coming in, and there are regulated ways to invest. That does sound different from a few years ago.
Definitely. And third, just its growing mainstream adoption and integration into various financial services. It's becoming more embedded. This isn't just niche internet money anymore. It's being taken seriously by established players.
Okay, that context helps. But what about avoiding the scams? All the stories of people losing money on obscure meme coins or getting caught in Twitter pump and dumps. How does a beginner avoid that disaster with their $150?
Crucial point. And that's why the source reinforces a critical caveat. Only invest in what you understand.
Common sense, but easily forgotten in the hype.
Very easily. It strongly advises against chasing those meme coins or Twitter pumps. Those are often purely speculative, driven by social media buzz with no real underlying value or utility. Extremely risky, especially for newcomers.
So stick to the big names.
Generally, yes. The advice is to focus on established blue-chip cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They have the largest market caps, the most development activity, significant institutional interest, and a longer track record.
Got it. Play it safer within a risky asset class.
Exactly. So connecting it back, this $150 allocation isn't about trying to get rich overnight. It's about gaining cautious, informed exposure to this new, evolving asset class, one that big institutions are now validating and integrating. It's about being strategically positioned, learning the ropes, but without taking reckless risks.
So dipping your toe in, learning about this significant part of the financial landscape, doing it intelligently with DCA, and definitely not betting the farm.
You summed it up perfectly. Informed, calculated exposure, not gambling. 5, the active income stream. Building a side hustle, $100.
Right? Moving beyond just putting money into investments like stocks or crypto, our source talks about using another $100 to actually create something, building a low-cost side hustle.
Ah, the active income part. I like this.
Me too. This is the create, not just consume piece of the plan, and it feels really empowering, especially if you're starting with limited cash. How does $100 translate into an income-generating machine, though?
Well, this is where that very first step, investing $100 in a high-income skill, can really pay off directly.
Oh, the synergy.
Exactly. The objective here is to build an active income stream, something that brings in consistent money, even if it's just $50, $100 a month to start.
50 to $100 extra a month can make a real difference when you're starting out.
Huge difference. And the source highlights that this kind of return, this continuous active income you generate yourself, is ROI you can't get from a bank, or often even passively from investments, especially with such a small initial outlay. You have more control.
More control, and you're building something.
Uh,
Okay, what kind of side hustles are we talking about? $100 isn't a massive startup fund. You're not opening a coffee shop.
Definitely not. And that's the point. The examples focus on low cost and high potential, leveraging the digital world. For instance, using that $100 to set up a print-on-demand shop on Etsy.
Print on demand. Explain that quickly.
Sure, you create designs for t-shirts, mugs, whatever. You list them on Etsy. When someone buys one, a third-party company prints your design on the product and ships it directly to the customer. You don't handle inventory or shipping.
Oh, interesting. So your cost is mainly the design tools or maybe a small ad budget.
Exactly. Or you could use the $100 to buy a domain name for a niche blog. Focus on a topic you know or love, build content, and aim for ad revenue or affiliate sales down the line.
Content creation takes time, but low startup cost.
Right. Another idea, launching a YouTube Shorts channel. Short-form video is massive. Build an audience, eventually maybe monetize with ads or sponsorships.
Okay.
And crucially, the source circles back to step 1, offering that skill you learned as a service. If you spend $100 learning video editing or copywriting.
You use this $100 to market yourself.
Precisely. Set up a simple website, create a profile on a freelance platform like Upwork or Fiverr, maybe get a basic subscription to a tool like Canva Pro for marketing visuals, or a scheduling tool if you land clients. That $100 facilitates turning the skill into actual income.
So it's not just about earning a bit of extra cash, is it? It's also about the process itself, learning how to be an entrepreneur, even on this micro scale.
Yeah.
Testing the waters.
Absolutely. That's a huge dual benefit. You're learning practical entrepreneurship skills, sales, marketing, customer service, delivery, things you don't learn from just investing passively.
Mm.
And you're creating active income.
And that extra income can then fuel the other parts of the plan.
Exactly. You can reinvest it into your ETFs, your crypto bucket, maybe build your emergency fund faster, or just use it for living expenses. It accelerates everything. It's a shift from purely passive investing to active creation. It shows that sometimes the best investment is actually generating more capital to invest later.
It's like building a little engine to make more money, starting super small.
Hmm.
Very empowering. 6, the visibility factor. Investing in personal branding or content creation. $100. Okay, this next one might surprise some people when we talk about investing starting $1,000. Another $100 specifically for personal branding or content creation tools.
Right, distinct from the side hustle itself. More about visibility.
Exactly. Our source explicitly states, and I found this really striking, if you're not building a presence online in 2025, you're leaving money on the table. How does spending money on, say, social media tools or a better microphone actually translate into tangible financial gain? It
Yeah.
feels less direct than the other steps.
It does feel less direct initially, but it's built on a fundamental premise in the modern economy. Attention is an asset.
Attention is an asset.
Yeah. Building an online presence, whether that's a professional profile on LinkedIn, sharing your insights on Instagram or X, or maybe a niche YouTube channel related to your skills or interests, it cultivates trust and visibility. It's about making yourself discoverable.
So people can find you, find your skills, find your ideas.
Exactly. Establishing your expertise or unique perspective, creating a platform. And this $100 allocation is strategically used for tools that enhance that visibility and make your content look or sound more professional, even on a tight budget. It's about perceived quality.
Okay, so what could that $100 realistically buy in this context? We're not talking a fancy camera or studio lights here.
No, definitely not. We're talking foundational tools that make a disproportionate difference. The source suggests things like a Canva Pro subscription.
Canva, the design tool.
Yeah, the Pro version gives you way more templates, stock photos, features. It lets you create really professional looking graphics for social media, thumbnails for videos, presentations, whatever, without needing actual graphic design skills. Huge leverage.
Okay, makes your stuff look better instantly. Yeah. What else?
Another great example is a decent microphone. Good audio quality is so often overlooked, but it's absolutely critical for any kind of video or audio content you might create.
True. Bad audio makes me click away immediately.
Right, you tune out.
Yeah.
Investing even $50, $70 in a basic USB microphone can make your message sound far more professional, credible, and engaging than using your laptop mic.
Big impact for small cost. Any other examples?
It could even be used for very small, targeted online ads, maybe boosting a key post on LinkedIn to reach more relevant people in your industry, or a small Instagram ad campaign if that's where your audience is. Strategic amplification.
Okay, so tools to improve quality and maybe a little bit of reach. But the why again? How does this attention or digital presence actually turn into money or opportunity down the road?
The why is that if people know you, trust you, and follow your content consistently, opportunities start. Well, the source says they start chasing you.
Instead of you always chasing them.
Exactly. It's not always a direct transaction like selling a product immediately. It's more of a long-term play that builds credibility and opens doors.
Yeah.
It can lead to unexpected income streams, collaborations, sponsorships, maybe consulting gigs, or direct sales of services or products you eventually develop based on that audience.
Or even job offers.
Absolutely. Potential employers or clients discover your expertise organically through your content. It raises that important question. How does this digital presence translate into tangible financial opportunity? It's about opening doors you might not even know exist yet, all driven by the credibility and reach you've built.
So it's like setting up a digital storefront for yourself, your skills, your ideas, even before you have something specific to sell, making yourself discoverable.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's an investment in your future discoverability and reputation, building pathways for future income that might not even be clear right now.
Huh?
7. The agility play. Keeping liquid for fast ROI opportunities. $100.
All right, finally, the last $100. Our source suggests keeping this liquid ready for an opportunity. This seems to be all about flexibility and being able to act fast.
The agility fund, maybe?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What exactly does liquid mean here? And what kind of fast ROI opportunities are we realistically looking for with just $100? It feels almost like a wild card in this otherwise quite structured plan.
Well, liquid in this context just means readily available cash. Money that isn't tied up in your ETFs or even your emergency fund savings account. It's probably sitting in your checking account ready to be deployed instantly.
Okay, so not the emergency fund money. That's sacred.
Absolutely not. The emergency fund is strictly for unexpected needs. This $100 is strategic capital for immediate, often short-term opportunities for gain. It's like your entrepreneurial scout fund.
Scout fund. Okay, ready to pounce. But on what? What could you pounce on with $100 for a fast return? Are we talking about like day trading stocks?
No, not day trading in the traditional sense. That's usually higher risk and requires more capital and knowledge. This is about more grounded, agile, tactical moves. The source offers examples like buying something undervalued and flipping it locally.
Flipping, like on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly. Maybe you spot an item at a yard sale for $20 that you know you can clean up and resell online for $70 or $80 pretty quickly. Or maybe a distressed piece of furniture someone's giving away that needs minor repair, and you can flip it.
Okay, requires a good eye, but potential for quick profit.
Right. Buy low, sell high, fast turnaround. Another example could be jumping on a new tool or maybe an AI product subscription that you realize could significantly boost your workflow in your side hustle or even your main job.
So an investment that quickly pays for itself in time saved or increased output.
Precisely. An indirect but fast ROI by making you more efficient. Or it could even be investing a small amount in someone else's small project. Maybe a friend needs $100 for materials for something they're making to sell, and you arrange a quick payback with a bit of profit. High trust required there, obviously.
Okay, so small tactical moves.
Exactly. The core principle here, the source emphasizes, is that flexibility is power. Having this small liquid sum allows you to seize immediate short-term gains or make strategic small investments that can generate returns quickly rather than waiting months or years for compounding.
So it's about being nimble, right? Not letting every dollar get locked away long term, but keeping a bit ready to jump on something that could pay off fast. And then you could, fold that profit back into the bigger strategy.
Absolutely. Maybe that $50 profit from the flip goes into your ETF pot or helps you reach your next emergency fund goal faster or buys you a better tool for your side hustle. It keeps the momentum going.
It's like a revolving door for quick wins that also sharpens your eye for immediate value.
Perfectly said. What's fascinating here is that while the other segments focus on long-term growth or consistent income, this last $100 is purely about agility, speed, and seeing opportunities others might miss because their capital is tied up. It's leveraging small capital for quick tactical moves. It fosters that mindset of constant opportunism and resourcefulness. Wrap-up summary.
Wow. Okay, so let's quickly recap this incredible roadmap for starting from scratch with just $1,000. It's quite comprehensive.
It really covers a lot of ground with just that initial amount.
It does. We started with $100 to learn a high-income skill, investing in your own earning superpower, that infinite ROI.
The foundation.
Then $150 went into an emergency fund, that critical safety net to protect everything else and give you peace of mind.
Non-negotiable buffer.
A solid $300 was allocated for long-term growth in diversified ETFs or index funds, passively growing wealth by basically buying the market.
The core wealth builder. Set it and forget it.
Then we took a calculated risk with $150 cost averaged into crypto for that cautious, intelligent exposure to an evolving asset class.
Dipping a toe in smartly.
Another $100 was designated to building a low-cost side hustle, actively generating new income, and learning entrepreneurship,
Creating active cash flow.
followed by $100 for personal branding or content creation tools, boosting visibility because attention is an asset.
Making yourself discoverable.
And finally, that last $100 kept liquid for fast ROI opportunities, maximum agility for those quick tactical gains.
The flexibility play.
It adds up to the full $1,000. And the core message from our source, weaving through all of this, is undeniably clear. This isn't a get-rich-quick plan. It's a get-smart-fast plan.
That phrase really captures it, doesn't it?
It does. You're not just trying to double your money overnight. You're building the habits, acquiring the assets, establishing the systems that will keep growing and compounding over time. You're building a robust financial foundation from the ground up, starting with just that initial $1,000. It really feels transformative.
It absolutely is. This comprehensive approach, starting with what seems like a small amount, truly connects to a broader perspective on financial empowerment. It shows how a small initial sum, when structured wisely across these diverse yet interconnected areas,
Skill, safety, growth, calculated risk, creation, visibility, agility.
right, it can create a powerful ripple effect far beyond that initial $1,000. It's not just about the money itself, is it? The discipline it teaches, the
Right.
financial literacy you gain, the entrepreneurial spirit it might spark, the strategic thinking it cultivates.
The whole package.
Exactly. And this raises, I think, an important final question for you, the listener. How might applying this very mindset, this thoughtful allocation, this focus on self-improvement, safety, long-term growth, active creation, and agile action, how might applying that to even larger sums of money change your entire financial trajectory?
Scaling the mindset.
Yeah. It's really about cultivating a continuous cycle of learning, acting, and investing that builds true, sustainable financial freedom and independence, one smart decision at a time, regardless of the starting amount. Outro.
So now we really want to hear from you. If you had $1,000 right now and were truly starting completely from scratch, how would you invest it? What resonates most from this plan? What's the very first step you'd take based on what we've discussed today? Or maybe something entirely different you've learned or believe in?
Yeah, everyone's situation and risk tolerance is a bit different.
It is. This deep dive has unpacked one really interesting strategic approach from our sources. But the world of personal finance is vast. It's always evolving, and it's full of opportunities waiting for your unique perspective and action.
Keep learning always.
Always. We encourage you to continue exploring financial growth and independence. Perhaps you're wondering now, okay, how can these initial investments then lead to more significant passive income streams down the line? Or how do I scale that side hustle from $100 a month to something much bigger?
Those are great next questions.
They are. That's a whole other exciting area to explore in your financial journey, building on the strong foundation we've talked about today. So go turn that $1,000, whatever amount you're starting with, into your first strategic step toward freedom, or whatever your personal definition of financial growth and success might be.